He was the self-styled property guru who disappeared, owing tens of thousands of pounds to dozens of tenants. Daniel Burton left renters in the lurch in London, then headed north to set up shop on Humberside. And now we can reveal how he did it, and how a government-backed scheme which claims to protect tenants' deposits actually gives them no defence at all against rogue landlords. Our North of England correspondent, Kieran Jenkins, has this.
In Britain, anyone can set up as a letting agent, and just as quickly, they can disappear.
You're Daniel Burton.
Yeah, you should go down here. All right.
Let's have a chat about you need a place, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Daniel Burton is one such man. Wanted
somewhere.
in London, owing lots of tenants, lots of money. Found in Scunthorpe, brazenly opening a brand new business.
What is your job now?
What's my job?
What are you doing here in Scunthorpe?
Well,
He was once the poster boy of the London rental market, but by November, when we tracked him down, he had a reputation for all the wrong reasons.
Why have you run away with some of your tenants' money?
I haven't run away with any of the tenants' money.
They tell us that you have their money and you haven't given it back.
All right. I'm holding my hands up. I've said I will pay it all back. And at the moment, it's looking like everyone will be paid back by the end of 2013.
My room was facing the street level and it was the last room on the right side.
4 months on, we want to know, has Daniel Burton honoured his promise?
Has he paid you back?
No, he hasn't. He was promising so over a private text messages. He gave me his private phone number ever since up until December. And then his contact went silent, basically.
So what's keeping Daniel Burton so busy? Well, we've traced him to yet another North Lincolnshire town. This time it's Cleethorpes. In January, he took over this letting agent, the latest outpost of his new property empire. Perhaps not for much longer though. We've been told he's failed to keep up payments to the old owners, so they set out to seize the business back. Tenants might find it particularly galling that Daniel Burton acquired not one, but 2 new property businesses here, despite still owing them many thousands of pounds. But there's more, because we've discovered how he came to get hold of so much of his tenants' money. And what we found could well worry anyone renting a home in the UK today. It boils down to the safety of your deposit. By law, your landlord or agent must protect your deposit with a government-approved scheme. They have 2 options. In option 1, the deposit is locked away safely, out of the landlord's reach. But in option 2, it's the landlord or agent who looks after the deposit. In return, the tenant gets a certificate saying it's been registered with the scheme. Now, if you're thinking option 2 seems open to abuse, then you'd be absolutely right. It was this kind of scheme that Daniel Burton used. He assured me, though, that his tenants' deposits were protected.
Look, over 95% of them were all registered, OK? I promise you that I can prove that with paperwork.
Sure enough, he sent me this. Proof of protection from my deposits, a government-approved scheme. What Daniel Burton didn't tell me was that he was later expelled by this scheme for failing to follow its rules. What happened next makes something of a mockery of these certificates, because we've learned that if your agent or landlord is kicked off the scheme, then your certificate becomes void. They're free simply to walk off with your money. So the rogue agents, the rogue landlords who flout the rules are the very people this scheme does not protect you from.
Yeah, love it, love it. Well done.
We went to My Deposit's chief executive to ask just how much Daniel Burton made off with.
Definitely. We're looking at 160 odd tenants with a total deposit value of all the tenants of about £140,000.
That's a lot of money in the wrong hands. But My Deposit say they kept tenants informed and followed all the right rules.
But fundamentally, if the landlord wants to run off with 145 grand, he can do that and you can't stop it.
No.
Is that not a major flaw in this system?
No, I don't think it is. I think, as I said before, the overwhelming majority of tenants have their deposit protected all the way through and they get their money back. And yes, whilst I regret that they have lost money, I don't think we as a deposit scheme could have done any more than we did.
It took 8 months,
Hey, how are you?
But this tenant did eventually get his deposit back. What he didn't know until we told him was how it went missing in the first place.
They cancelled You Need a Place's membership, and he was able then to have control of that money again.
That would scare me.
Does that make any sense?
That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Well, how does it make you feel about these deposit protection schemes? It doesn't seem to protect your deposit.
Because then it's completely at someone like Daniel Burton's will of what they do with my money when it's supposed to be protected. That really doesn't make me feel very secure at all.
Ultimately, Britain's 9 million renters have little protection from the likes of Daniel Burton. If your landlord or agent runs off with your deposit, you are on your own.